Something is shifting again, and this time it feels personal. It feels like it could touch your life, your family, and yes, even your wallet. Because whenever powerful people, hidden networks, and explosive investigations collide, the ripple effects don't stay locked in courtrooms or secret files. They spill into headlines, elections, policies, and the cost of everyday living. That's why this latest development has people across the country leaning forward, refreshing their phones, and asking the same question: what happens next? In the last 24 hours, a group of high-profile figures, often labeled as QAnon commentators and online investigators, began circulating what they're calling a major update connected to the Jeffrey Epstein saga. The claims spread fast, faster than many official statements ever do. Social media feeds lit up. Live streams started trending. And once again, the Epstein story is being pulled back into the spotlight. But here's the thing. Whenever claims like these surface, the truth gets buried under layers of speculation, political noise, and emotional reactions. And that's where you come in. Because whether you follow politics closely or just want stability for your household, stories like this can shape everything from public trust to economic policy. When trust drops, markets react. When investigations expand, headlines drive fear, and fear can hit your investments, your job security, and your retirement plans. So the big question tonight isn't just what was said, it's whether any of it holds weight, and what it could mean for ordinary Americans trying to live their lives without constant chaos in the background. Stay with us, because the details only get more intense from here. The claim that sparked the storm. The latest wave of attention began when several well-known online commentators connected to QAnon-related communities claimed they had access to new information tied to Epstein's network. They described it as a turning point moment, one that could supposedly reveal new names, new connections, or even new financial trails. Now, it's important to understand something. Many of these voices operate outside traditional journalism. They rely on leaked documents, anonymous sources, or interpretations of court filings. Sometimes they uncover real developments. Other times, the claims never materialize into confirmed facts, but that hasn't stopped the momentum. Within hours, clips from live streams were being shared across multiple platforms. Headlines started forming. Discussion forums exploded with speculation. Some posts claimed a new list was coming. Others suggested a sealed investigation might soon be opened, and the more people shared the claims, the more they started to feel real, even without official confirmation. This is how viral political stories often grow. They don't wait for proof. They spread on emotion, urgency, and the promise of a dramatic reveal. And when a story involves Epstein, the reaction is always intense, because people don't just see it as another scandal. They see it as a symbol of power, corruption, and unanswered questions. That emotional reaction is exactly why this story spreads so fast and why it can have real consequences for how people vote, spend, and plan their futures. Why the Epstein case still haunts America. Even years after his death, the Epstein case refuses to fade away. And there's a simple reason for that. Too many questions still feel unanswered. For many Americans, the story isn't just about one man. It's about the idea that powerful figures might escape accountability while ordinary people face the full weight of the law. That perception alone can shake confidence in institutions. When confidence drops, markets notice, investors notice, businesses notice. And suddenly, what started as a criminal investigation becomes something that affects retirement funds, hiring decisions, and economic forecasts. This is why every new development, real or rumored, creates such strong reactions. It's not just about justice, it's about trust. If people believe the system is broken, they start to behave differently. They save more and spend less. They hesitate to invest. They become more cautious about their financial future. And that's how a story that seems distant from your daily routine can still reach into your kitchen table conversations, because when trust collapses, the economy often follows. The role of online investigators. In today's digital world, Stories don't just come from newsrooms anymore. They come from independent researchers, live stream hosts, and online communities. Some of these investigators have large audiences. They present themselves as truth seekers. They dig through court filings, flight logs, and financial records, and sometimes they do surface real information. But the problem is consistency. Traditional journalism has layers of verification. Editors check facts. Lawyers review sensitive claims. Sources are confirmed before publication. Many online investigators skip those steps. They share information as they find it. That means the line between verified facts and speculation can get blurry. And when a story involves something as emotional as the Epstein case, speculation spreads like wildfire. People want answers. They want closure. They want justice. So when someone promises a major reveal, audiences lean in. Even if the evidence isn't solid, that emotional pull is powerful. And it's exactly why these stories can dominate the conversation overnight. How viral claims affect your wallet. You might be wondering, how does any of this actually affect me? The answer is simpler than you think. Financial markets are built on confidence. When confidence drops, investors pull back. When investors pull back, markets can slide. And when markets slide, retirement accounts, pensions, and savings can take a hit. Political scandals, especially ones involving powerful elites, can create waves of uncertainty. That uncertainty leads to volatility. And volatility doesn't just affect billionaires on Wall Street. It affects everyday Americans with 401ks, IRAs, or even basic savings accounts tied to market performance. It can also influence government spending decisions, interest rates, and economic policy debates. So while it may seem like a distant political drama, the ripple effects can eventually reach your paycheck, your grocery bill, and your retirement timeline. The pattern we've seen before. This isn't the first time major claims about Epstein have gone viral. Over the years, there have been multiple moments when online communities promised explosive revelations. Some of those moments led to real documents being released. Others faded away without any confirmation. That pattern matters because it shows how quickly narratives can form and how slowly facts actually emerge. Investigations, court cases, and official reports move at a much slower pace than social media. What trends today might take months or even years to verify, but by then, the public conversation has already moved on. That's why stories like this create such emotional whiplash. One day, it feels like a massive breakthrough. The next, it disappears from the headlines. And in the middle of all that noise, ordinary people are left wondering what's real and what's just speculation. The political fallout. Whenever the Epstein case resurfaces, politics quickly enters the picture. Different groups interpret the story in different ways. Some see it as proof of systemic corruption. Others see it as a weapon used in political battles. And once politics takes over, the truth often gets buried under talking points. Lawmakers start calling for investigations. Opponents start pointing fingers. Cable news panels start debating the same questions night after night. And the result is more division, more uncertainty, and more emotional reactions from the public. That division can influence elections, policy decisions, and even economic priorities, which brings us back to the central point. When political instability rises, economic stability often takes a hit. And that's when everyday families start to feel the pressure. What's actually confirmed? So far as of now, the claims circulating online have not been officially confirmed by major law enforcement agencies or court announcements. There's no verified release of a new list, no confirmed new charges, no official statement backing the viral claims. What exists right now is speculation, interpretation, and online commentary. That doesn't mean nothing will happen. It simply means the story is still developing, and the facts are still being sorted out. In situations like this, patience is key, because the truth usually emerges slowly through court filings, official reports, and verified investigations, not viral posts. And that's the difference between a trending story and a confirmed one. Why this story keeps returning. The Epstein case has become more than just a criminal investigation. It's turned into a symbol. For some, it represents unanswered questions about power and privilege. For others, it's a reminder of how complex and slow the justice system can be. But the reason it keeps coming back into the headlines is simple. People still want answers. And as long as those answers feel incomplete, any new claim, no matter how small, can ignite massive attention. It's like a story without a final chapter. Every rumor feels like it might be the ending, but so far, that ending hasn't arrived. So where does this leave you? Right now, the biggest takeaway isn't about secret lists or explosive revelations. It's about staying informed without getting swept up in the emotional storm. Because stories like this are designed to trigger strong reactions. They play on fear, anger, and curiosity. And when emotions run high, it's easy to make rushed decisions, financially, politically, or personally. The smartest move is to stay calm, stay informed, and wait for verified information before drawing conclusions. Because at the end of the day, your future, your family, and your financial stability matter more than any viral headline. And as this story continues to unfold, one thing is certain. There will be more updates, more claims, and more twists ahead. So stay alert, stay informed, and make sure you're following the stories that could shape your financial future. Because the next big update could come sooner than anyone expects.